Good morning. It's Wednesday, April 1st. Here's what we're working on this morning. The OPP are asking for witnesses to come forward after a deadly crash in Flamborough.
Going to the moon. Today is a launch date for Artemis II. I'm Sean Cowan, and I'll have all the details coming up, including the Canadian who will be on board.
And it's now official. Pro hockey is coming back to Hamilton.
Good morning. As predicted yesterday, perfect napping weather.
Yes.
And then it was disrupted by a terrible soccer game that I'll talk about later on.
Okay. All right.
Apart from that, it turned out to be not a bad day.
Yeah, exactly. We got to 20 degrees yesterday.
It was quite nice.
Yeah.
20.3 actually, and today, ooh, what a difference. Yeah, the cold front went through last night, and a lot of us lost power last night because of the showers and thunderstorms, but power's back on this morning, so that's good. But you know, it's been a while since I've been able to do this, but today is the 1st of the month. Oh, geez, you know, the past couple of February and March, the 1st were on weekends, so there we are. I got it in, yes. And it's also April Fool's Day, so yeah, be careful what you read online. So let's talk about what, and I won't be fooling with the weather today. Today, it's going to be a mainly cloudy sky. We'll see a little bit of sunshine in there, but what a difference the temperature is going to be today. We're sitting at 5 right now. Yesterday morning at this time, we were 15. So we're 5 right now, and we'll climb to 6 for the day today. That's going to be it. So temperature below seasonal from way above seasonal for the day. And then temperature tomorrow will be even cooler. So I'll give you details on that coming up in a few minutes. So looking at traffic this morning, and there's nothing going on, which is good. The past couple of mornings we've had all kinds of problems, but right now the 403 and Waterdown roads moving nicely, so nothing there. To a couple of MTO traffic cameras, and we'll see if we can find anything at Nikola Tesla Boulevard. And no, we can't. Everything looks good there. Toronto-bound lanes toward the Skyway heading away from us. Same here at the top of the Burlington Skyway Bridge. Volume is pretty light so far today. So we'll look at weather and we'll check the traffic watch coming up in just a few minutes. Right now, the news.
Thank you, Brian. It's a big day for space travel. Today marks the first time astronauts will orbit the moon since 1972, and the first time a Canadian will do so. Launch time set for just before 6:30 tonight at the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. Following the story this morning, our Sean Cowan, who joins us live. Good morning, Sean.
Good morning, Rick, and that's right. Really big news for space travel. While we won't actually be landing on the moon, I'm told this is just as important. And Canadian Jeremy Henson will be on board. The 10-day mission is set to start tonight. Henson is from the London area and will be on board Artemis II. The mission has been delayed a few times since February due to hydrogen fuel leaks and helium flow problems, but it is scheduled to launch tonight. Henson will serve as mission specialist during Artemis II, becoming the first non-American to travel beyond low Earth orbit. The rocket will make a figure 8 around the moon.
Take about 4 days to get to the moon, where they'll do a lunar flyby going past the far side of the moon, about 7,500 kilometers from the far side, but where, when they're there, they'll see portions of the moon's surface that no human being has ever seen before, and then come back around and use the moon's gravity to slingshot them back around to Earth, taking 4 days about to get home.
Extremely exciting. And this is really the first step. So we're sending people back to the moon. They're going to be orbiting. Eventually the plan is to have people go to the surface of the moon and actually to establish more of a presence on the moon than what we have right now. So where you would have basically a permanent base of activities a lot of them would be to start science activities. And then part of it is also, there's all sorts of engineering and challenges to make things work on the moon. And that's the kind of thing that people are going to be trying to figure out how to do.
And this is a live shot of the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. NASA says the mission management team will be assessing the flight readiness today across the spacecraft, launch infrastructure, and the crew and operations team. And I'm told that things are looking good for the launch tonight, but one of the things they will be keeping a very close eye on is the fuel, because it just takes so much fuel to launch the rocket into space. Annette, I'll send it back inside to you.
The OPP are looking for witnesses after a deadly crash that Brian was telling us about yesterday in Flamborough. During yesterday's early morning thunderstorm, a pickup truck trying to pass a transport truck on Highway 8 near Rockton crashed and caught fire. A 22-year-old man from Caledonia in the pickup was killed. One person from another car involved was taken to hospital. The OPP say this happened on a stretch of Highway 8 between Rockton and Dundas, where passing is not allowed because of a double yellow line. Police believe at least 3 other vehicles were nearby when the crash happened, and they want to speak to those drivers.
U.S. President Donald Trump says the military could end its Iran offensive in 2 to 3 weeks. He says the U.S. will then shift responsibility for the Strait of Hormuz to countries that rely on it for oil and shipping. The White House also announcing a primetime presidential address this evening on the war. Trump expressed frustration yesterday with allies who have been unwilling to do more to support the U.S., telling them to, quote, go get your own oil. Trump has recently insisted there is progress in diplomatic talks with Iran, while at the same time threatened to widen the war.
King Charles and Queen Camilla are heading to the United States. A notice on their official X page says, quote, on the advice of His Majesty's government and at the invitation of the President of the United States, they'll make a state visit this month. The dates have not been announced. The trip is to mark the 250th anniversary of American independence, but it comes despite criticism of U.S. President Donald Trump's comments on Britain not helping in the war in Iran. The visit is seen as an effort to maintain ties between the United Kingdom and the United States. This will be Charles' first visit to the U.S. since he became king.
Prime Minister Mark Carney has swatted down suggestions that he might prorogue Parliament following 3 by-elections happening this month.
Absolutely not. It has never even entered my thinking, the possibility of that. So I couldn't have been more surprised to see a suggestion that that was under consideration.
By-elections are set for April 13th, 2 in Liberal strongholds in the Toronto area and 1 in Terrebonne, a contested Quebec riding north of Montreal. The results could give the Liberals a narrow majority.
Canada Post is moving ahead with plans to end home mail delivery. It's part of a restructuring plan mandated by the federal government last fall. The announcement means a move to more community mailboxes. In a statement, Canada Post says it's working to meet the evolving needs of Canadians without becoming a recurring burden on taxpayers, as it prioritizes services for all and protects access to service in rural, remote, and Indigenous communities. This comes as 55,000 postal workers get set to vote on a new contract.
The number of police-reported hate crimes in Canada stayed relatively steady in 2024 after previous years of sharp increases. StatsCan says there were more than 4,800 hate crimes in Canada in 2024, a 1% increase over the previous year. That follows a 34% rise between 2022 and 2023, and police-reported hate crimes more than doubling since 2018. StatsCan says hate crimes targeting religion were the most likely to occur near a religious institution, but says that has declined over time. Chemicals used to help make plastic more flexible appear to pose significant health risks to pregnant women. A March of Dimes report out of the U.S. shows the chemicals, known as phthalates, are connected to nearly 2 million premature births and 74,000 newborn deaths in 2018. Researchers aren't sure how they can cause preterm births and infant deaths. The chemicals are found in a lot of plastic items, including toys and food storage containers. Experts say you should look for phthalate-free labels. Canada's Public Health Agency is taking over a program that compensates people who have been negatively impacted by vaccines. The Vaccine Injury Support Program rolled out in 2021 after the introduction of COVID-19 vaccines. Data shows adverse effects are extremely rare, but the federal government signed a contract with a third-party administrator to run the program. The Public Health Agency of Canada will now administer it while addressing a backlog of applications. Health Canada says between December 2020 and December 2023, adverse event reports represented 0.056% of all vaccines administered.
A U.S. report is raising concerns about Canadian alcohol rules in the federal Buy Canadian policy. It arrives ahead of a key review of the Canada-U.S.-Mexico Free Trade Agreement. The annual document was prepared by the Office of the United States Trade Representative. It says market access barriers imposed by provincial liquor control boards greatly hamper exports of U.S. beer, spirits, and wine to Canada. Several provinces pulled U.S. alcohol from shelves last year when Donald Trump imposed tariffs. The report says the U.S. wants its alcohol to immediately and permanently return to all markets.
It's now official. The American Hockey League's Board of Governors unanimously approving the relocation of the Bridgeport Islanders to Hamilton. Hamilton's newest professional hockey team will play at TD Coliseum starting this fall. The yet-to-be-named franchise will move from the Atlantic Division to the North Division, along with Toronto, Laval, Belleville, Rochester, Syracuse, Utica, and Cleveland. Fans can also secure season's tickets, suites, and club seats with priority access at tdcoliseum.com.
Clears it back, gets it up to Mel Holmstrom. Shot, rebound, and they scored.
Well, it may not have been exciting for the Sudbury play-by-play crew. Bulldogs fans are happy this morning. Merrick Van Acker scored twice, including the winner in overtime, to give the Brantford Bulldogs a thrilling 6-5 victory in Sudbury and a 3-0 lead in their first-round OHL playoff series. Brantford can complete the series sweep with a win tomorrow night. Barrie Colts scored a couple of power play goals to snap a 2-2 tie and went on to beat the Niagara Ice Dogs 5-2 at the Meridian Center. The win gives the Colts a 2-1 lead heading into Game 4 tomorrow night. The 48-team field for FIFA's biggest World Cup is now complete, and Canada now knows who they will play in their opening game. Canada will face Bosnia and Herzegovina, who advanced after upsetting 10-man Italy on penalties yesterday. The four-time champion Italians have now failed to qualify for the last 3 World Cups. Other teams who secured a spot on the last day of qualifying include Iraq, Congo, Sweden, Turkey, and Czechia. As for Canada, they played Tunisia in a scoreless draw last night in a friendly at BMO Field. The Canadians will face Bosnia and Herzegovina on June 12th in Toronto. Jalen Derlin scored 31 points, pulled down 9 rebounds as the Pistons downed the Raptors 127-116, and in doing so, clinched the Central Division title for the first time since 2008. Dennis Jenkins scored 21 for the Pistons, who have won 7 of 9, and Duncan Robinson added 19 points. R.J. Barrett had 24 points for Toronto, while Scotty Barnes had 12 assists, but he was held to just 5 points. What a season debut for Mad Max. Max Scherzer allowed just 1 run on 4 hits over 6 innings as the Blue Jays beat the Rockies 5-1. The 3-time Cy Young Award winner walked 1 and struck out 4, while Toronto's offense scored 2 runs in the 5th inning and 3 more in the 7th. Meanwhile, an MRI has revealed that pitcher Cody Ponce suffered a sprained ACL in his right knee Monday night and will miss significant time. Kevin Gausman gets the start this afternoon when the Jays and Rockies play the rubber match of their series. A week before the Masters, 5-time Green Jacket winner Tiger Woods says he's stepping away from golf and seeking treatment after crashing his SUV in Florida last Friday. The 50-year-old Woods was arrested on suspicion of driving under the influence and pleaded not guilty yesterday. The plea came hours after a sheriff's report said he had pain pills in his pocket and showed signs of impairment at the crash scene. Canada's Matt Dunstone improved to 6-2 at the World Men's Curling Championship after beating China 8-4 and needing only 6 ends to smoke Sweden 10-3. And the Burlington Golf and Country Club hosts the Mixed Provincial Curling Championships starting today. The ceremonial first rock will be thrown by Don Garside, who's in his 90s and is the oldest active member.
All right, coming up on 14 minutes after 6 o'clock here on this first morning of April. April Fools to you. And I think that's what my MTO traffic cameras are doing to me now. But we do have this camera. This is our camera, and we know it's there. That's the 403 right around Waterdown Road. So not a lot happening coming out of Hamilton. Actually, all the way around Hamilton, Link, Red Hill Valley Parkway doing fine. I do have one MTO traffic camera I can show you. It decided to play today. This is the QEW at Nikola Tesla Boulevard. Basically, all the cameras look like that. So let's go right to our temperature. What a difference a day makes. Yesterday morning at this time, we were 15 degrees. This morning, we've come down to 4. So it's quite a bit cooler, but still, as far as an overnight low is concerned, that's above seasonal. The winds have lightened off quite a bit. The sky is fairly cloudy to start our day. And for school today, we're going to climb to all the way to 6 degrees. And that is it after hitting 20 yesterday. The winds are going to be northwest, and then they'll shift around to the northeast a little later on. But yeah, mainly cloudy day. That cold front went through yesterday late in the day, and it shifted around the winds, pulled in the chillier air. We got some showers because of it yesterday. We are looking at instability starting to really push in as we continue through into our Easter weekend. So we are looking for more precipitation. Not really today in most areas. It'll be a mainly cloudy sky. Temperatures 6 and 7 degrees basically. Tonight, a lot cooler. Temperature is going to fall to, well, 3 for Niagara, but 0 and +1 for the rest of us, 3 for Cayuga and Simcoe. It'll be fairly cloudy. We could get some showers toward morning, and then tomorrow the showers settle in. Temperature mild for Niagara Falls at 13, 8 for Simcoe, Cayuga, but 7, 4, and 5. That'll be the best we can get tomorrow. So showers will settle in. So the first morning of April, temperature right now sitting at 4. It is mostly cloudy. And we'll check the important long-range forecast for the Easter weekend coming up. Annette.
Thank you, Brian.
Coming up after the break, we're going to say good morning to Emily. She'll have a preview of what's to come in Chit Chat. And in business news this morning, Germany looking to fix oil prices. We'll tell you how they are trying to do it coming up next. Let's say good morning to Emily Vukovic. Emily, what's coming up in Chit Chat?
Hi, good morning. Well, we're going to be discussing Apple TV. It's released the teaser for Cape Fear. Do you guys remember that movie?
Yes.
Well, I don't think I saw it.
Well, it's now been remade twice, and this is a series. It's the new psychological horror thriller, and I think it's going to be really, really good. And we've got some fun tips about the directors involved.
Okay.
Taylor Swift has a brand new music video, but she's not in it. And legendary 90s rock band Weezer is going on tour and making a stop in Ontario.
I love Weezer.
Very exciting.
Me too.
Oh, awesome. Thanks, Emily. On the markets this morning, the Canadian dollar is up 6 basis points to 71.93 cents U.S. Gold is up $67 U.S. an ounce. Oil dropping more than $1, sitting at around $100 U.S. a barrel. Midday European trading, London, Frankfurt, and Paris are all up this hour.
Key Asian markets all finished ahead today, and North American markets made huge gains yesterday. This is all on comments that Donald Trump has made about the war in Iran ending.
Europe's biggest economy is taking steps to curb rising fuel prices with the war in Iran raging on. Germany's parliament has passed legislation that will allow gas stations to raise prices just once a day at noon. Reductions can be made at any time. Fuel in Germany is selling for around €2 a litre. That's $3.22 Canadian. The law is also meant to increase transparency in fuel pricing.
The Canadian government is spending nearly $1.5 billion to support tanker aircraft for the Royal Canadian Air Force. The money will pay for maintenance, equipment, and engineering for 9 CC-330 Husky aircraft. The planes are used to refuel other aircraft, and they also do cargo lifts and medical evacuations. The bulk of the contract is going to L3 Harris-Mass in Quebec. The federal government says the investment will help Canada meet its NATO defense spending targets.
Algoma Steel expects its first quarter steel shipments to fall compared to last year. The Sault Ste. Marie-based company anticipates shipments of around 220,000 tons. In its recent fourth quarter report, Algoma Steel said shipments were down 31% from the same period last year. The company also forecasts an adjusted first quarter loss before deductions between $25 and $35 million.
Spice giant McCormick is merging with Unilever's food division. The combined business will include well-known brands like Hellmann's and Knorr, with a value exceeding $60 billion U.S. And companies say the merger will expand their reach in key markets, boost growth in food service, and generate roughly $600 million U.S. in cost savings every year. The combined company will keep the McCormick name and leadership. The deal still needs shareholder and regulatory approval. It's expected to close by the middle of next year.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. Brian is going to be back with your traffic update and your 7-day weather forecast. Stay with us.
6:24 on this first morning of April, and we were hoping for a quiet morning in traffic after a couple of days when we've had so many collisions. But now we have a problem. Here's the 403 at King. So you're coming past Brant Street, trying to get into Hamilton on the 403, past the 407 as well. So you have this collision. A couple of vehicles involved in a collision. Right shoulder, right lane is blocked through here, and that's right at King. So as you're heading toward Waterdown Road to go to Hamilton, you've got that problem. And a visual distraction for the other side coming out of Hamilton trying to get to the QEW. So here's the top, speaking of the QEW, top of the Burlington Skyway Bridge, starting to see some brake lights coming on, heading down toward North Shore, east of 4th looks good. Lorne Park, no problems all the way through Burnham Thorpe. Just that one situation on the 403 heading into Hamilton. Temperature this morning, well, last hour we were 5. This hour we've come down a degree. We're now sitting at 4. Hamilton and Grimsby, 3 Toronto, 2 into Mississauga. A lot chillier start than yesterday morning. Those are our seasonal temperatures for this time of year. 8 degrees for the daytime high, -1 for the overnight low. Sun comes up 7:02, woohoo, closer to 7 o'clock now. And those are our records for today. And for school today, it's going to be cloudy, 5 degrees for the first bell at 9, and then we're going to climb to 6, and that's about it for later on. And mainly cloudy sky. So we'll see a little bit of sunshine for the day. So 6 today, +1 overnight tonight. Showers will push in toward morning, and then tomorrow showers, a cooler day at 4. But look at the temperatures spike up for Good Friday. It's the roller coaster as you go through March into April. 20 on Good Friday, 15 on Saturday, showers, and then we really dip as we head through Easter Sunday and into Monday. That's your forecast. And that, Rick.
Thanks, Brian. A border collie has been rescued by helicopter in New Zealand.
A dog named Molly had been stranded in a remote area for a week after her owner fell down a waterfall. 3 search flights before this came up empty. But with the help of a thermal camera and another dog for emotional support, Molly was finally found and rescued. Wow. She was picked up at the foot of the waterfall where her owner fell. The helicopter pilot says Molly is in good condition. Her owner was injured but released from hospital just in time to welcome Molly back home.
Oh, that's a good news story. Oh. Look at that tail wag.
I bet they'll be very careful before they go down the next hike, right?
That looked like a dangerous fall. Wow. Good to see that everyone is okay, including Molly, who's very happy to be back home.
Yes.
I'm sure. Stay with us. More to come after the break here on Morning Live. Good morning.